Porter Wagoner was an American country music singer known for his flashy nudie and Manuel suits and blonde pompadour. In 1967, he introduced singer Dolly Parton on his television show, The Porter Wagoner Show. She became part of a well-known vocal duo with him from the late 1960s to the early 1970s. Known as Mr. Grand Ole Opry, Wagoner charted 81 singles from 1954 to 1983. He was elected to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2002. So sit back and relax as we remember this Country Music Hall of Famer.
Before we begin, please hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you don't miss a single one of our upcoming videos.
Wagoner was born on August 12, 1927 in West Plains, Missouri, the son of Bertha May, née Bridges, and Charles E. Wagoner, a farmer. His first band, the Blue Ridge Boys, performed on radio station KWPM-AM from a butcher shop in his native West Plains, where Wagoner cut meat. In 1951, he was hired by C. Simon as a performer on KWTO in Springfield, Missouri. This led to a contract with RCA Victor. With lagging sales, Wagoner and his trio played schoolhouses for the gate proceeds, but in 1953 his song, Trademark, became a hit for Carl Smith, followed by a few hits of his own for RCA Victor. Starting in 1955, he was a featured performer on ABC TV's Ozark Jubilee in Springfield. He often appeared on the show as part of the Porter Wagoner Trio with Don Warden and Speedy Hayworth. Warden, on steel guitar, became Wagoner's longtime business manager. In 1957, Wagoner and Warden moved to Nashville, Tennessee, joining the Grand Ole Opry. Wagoner's 81 charted records include A Satisfied Mind, number 1, 1955, Misery Loves Company, number 1, 1962, I've Enjoyed As Much of This As I Can Stand, number 7, 1962 to 1963, Sorrow on the Rocks, number 5, 1964, Green Green Grass of Home, number 4, 1965, Skid Row Joe, number 3, 1965 to 1966, The Cold Hard Facts of Life, number 2, 1967, and The Carroll County Accident, number 2, 1968 to 1969. Among his hit duets with Dolly Parton were a remake of Tom Paxton's The Last Thing on My Mind, 1967, We'll Get Ahead Someday, 1968, Just Someone I Used to Know, 1969, Daddy Was an Old-Time Preacher Man, 1970, Better Move It On Home, 1971, The Right Combination, 1972, Please Don't Stop Loving Me, number 1, 1974, and Making Plans, number 2, 1980. He also won 3 Grammy Awards for gospel recordings. His syndicated television program, The Porter Wagoner Show, aired from 1960 to 1981. There were 686 30-minute episodes taped, the first 104, 1960 to 66, in black and white and the remainder, 1966 to 81, in color. At its peak, his show was featured in over 100 markets, with an average viewership of over 3 million. Reruns of the program air on the rural cable network RFD-TV and its sister channel in the UK Rural TV. The shows usually featured opening performances by Wagoner with performances by Norma Jean, or later Dolly Parton, and comedic interludes by Spec Rhodes. During Parton's tenure, she and Wagoner usually sang a duet. Each episode also featured a guest who would usually perform 1 or 2 songs. A spiritual or gospel performance was almost always featured toward the end of the show, generally performed by either Wagoner or Parton or the show's guest star, or occasionally the entire cast. After Parton left the show, Porter began taping the show at Opryland, USA in various locations around the park. The shows had a friendly, informal feel, with Wagoner trading jokes with band members, frequently during songs, and exchanging banter with Dolly Parton and Don Hauser. In 1974, Dolly Parton's song I Will Always Love You, written about her professional break from Wagoner, went to #1 on the country music chart. Wagoner's stage alter ego was Skid Row Joe. The cast included singer Norma Jean, 1960 to 1965. Singer Jeannie Seely, 1965 to 1966. Singer Dolly Parton, 1967 to 1974. Singer Barbara Leah, 1974 to 1976. Singer Linda Carol Moore, 1976 to 1978. Singer Mel Tillis, 1968 regular. Comedian/stand-up bass Curly Harris, 1960, mid-1960s. Announcer Don Hauser. Wagoner brought James Brown to the Grand Ole Opry, produced a rhythm and blues album for Joe Simon, and appeared in the Clint Eastwood film Honky Tonk Man. During the mid-1980s, Wagoner formed an all-girl group, The Right Combination, named after one of his hit records with Parton, and toured with them for several years. He also hosted Opry Backstage during the 1990s on the Nashville network. Though Parton's departure was difficult for both, the two reconciled in the late 1980s and appeared together a number of times in the following years. Parton inducted Wagoner into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2002. Wagoner made a guest appearance on the HBO comedy series De Ali G Show in 2004, its second season, interviewed by Borat Sagdiyev. Wagoner was honored on August 12, 2007, his 80th birthday, at the Grand Ole Opry for his 50 years of membership. It was telecast on GAC's Grand Ole Opry Live that day with artists including Parton, Marty Stewart and Patti Loveless. Grand Ole Opry Live host Nan Kelly was part of the birthday celebration. On June 5, 2007, Wagoner released his final album, called Wagonmaster. Produced by Stewart for the Anti-label, the album received the best reviews of Wagoner's career and briefly appeared on the country chart. A music video was also produced of one of the tracks, a cover of Johnny Cash's Committed to Parkview. He toured during the summer of 2007 to promote the album, including a late July appearance on Late Show with David Letterman. One of these performances was to open for the rock group The White Stripes at a sold-out concert at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Wagoner was married twice, to Velma Johnson for less than a year in 1943, and Ruth Olive Williams from 1946 to 1986, though they separated 20 years before the divorce. He was survived by his 3 children, Richard, Denise, and Deborah. Wagoner died from lung cancer in Nashville on October 28, 2007, with his family and Dolly Parton at his side. Wagoner's funeral was held November 1, 2007, at the Grand Ole Opry House. He is buried at Woodlawn Memorial Park Cemetery in Nashville.